Hi there, welcome back to Technology Behind Business. Well, does your LinkedIn profile need a makeover? The corporate networking site recently did a study which showed that many people are overusing the same buzzwords on their profiles. Sky News tech reporter Nigel Freitas spoke with Sally Ann Blanshard from Nourish Coaching about just how professionals can improve their online brand.
I think there's definitely a reason why certain words come up in these profiles. In your skills summary on LinkedIn, you're given the freedom to actually write a paragraph about your experience. And I think it can just be quite easy to use certain words and drop in certain words. Whether they're qualified and quantified in that same summary is a different question.
But some of the words that I claim to be overused, like motivated, extensive experience, track record, good performance, these are the kinds of words that employers would expect to see, wouldn't they?
And they're fairly common. I think what we're looking for here really is in your skills summary to make sure that you're actually qualifying and quantifying where you've demonstrated creativity in your role or where you have extensive experience. So just to use it as a wrapper is a great introduction, but what I would expect underneath that opening paragraph would be to some specifics about what extensive experience or what creative projects that you've had involvement with.
So it's okay to be using those words in the summary as long as you back it up?
I think there needs to be some context and some evidence, and there's a number of ways that you can get evidence through your LinkedIn profile, one of them being the testimonials, the recommendations page. So if you have one of your old managers or a colleague recommending your work, it would be really good if they could be specific about that creative project, for example.
But aren't people using these words because they think employers are searching for them? How do employers use LinkedIn? What terms do they search for?
You can use the job skills area, so you can actually add different skills to the job skills part of your profile. But also if you've got it in your headline, so if you had a particular project management experience or IT or in finance or what have you, you can put that in your headline and it can be found that way. Employers and recruiters are using LinkedIn, I believe, aggressively to find employees. And we'll certainly see that change as well, more so in the next year, as people get to familiarise themselves with it and be comfortable that it's okay to have an online profile.
Are you finding that people are simply taking their paper resumes and just dumping that content into LinkedIn?
I hope that's not what they're doing, but yes, I think they create a profile and then they're on LinkedIn. But to be using it more effectively, that you do need to spend a bit more time getting used to the various features on the LinkedIn profile as well. So it's different to having a resume. The skills summary, you can actually have quite a long opening paragraph as an introduction to your work history, and what would differ with your resume is that each job would have responsibilities and achievements, and on LinkedIn you can just summarise that in short if you prefer, using the skills summary as opposed to really storytell.
And what aspect of LinkedIn do you find the most useful or effective?
I think for me the most useful feature would be the comment box as a user. So somebody that uses it, I'm often using that to let people know what I'm doing professionally. It's a status update. It can also navigate people to things that I'm reading or thinking. I think as someone that's using it to look for people, I think the headline, again, is you get a feed as to what people are updating and what they're looking at and who they've connected to and who's been giving them a recommendation. So that's also useful. I hear the term that people go on to LinkedIn and before they get comfortable really using it, they're often watching what other people are doing. So I guess that's like stalking. It's we're curious, aren't we? We're curious humans, and in a business sense, we always want to know who's got the next job or who's got a new skill set or who's had a new testimonial.
And in your experience, what makes a good LinkedIn profile?
A photo. We want to know what you look like. We want to be able to like you and trust you and see what follows after that photo. And so many people that I meet are averse to putting a photo up on LinkedIn, but it does really help you connect with that individual. The other thing that really helps as well is being able to ask colleagues, old managers, to really validate your work experience, so to ask for a recommendation of your work. Again, I think people are hesitant to do that, but in effect it's like a live resume with references attached.
Do you think people are comfortable exposing their entire work histories publicly on the internet, or is that something they're more comfortable giving in a paper format to employers in a one-on-one interview?
They get more comfortable with it. So as they start to see what happens on LinkedIn and they start to see who starts to connect to them by having a profile on there, they get a bit more comfortable. Again, they're looking at their peers, their colleagues, their competitors, they're seeing how much information is on there. And that's a personal thing, okay? So I still have clients that say to me, I will not put a photo on there, and that's okay. But I think in terms of the actual profile itself, you put on there as much as you're comfortable with, and if you don't put enough work experience on there, you just may miss out on an opportunity.
And how do you think people can make their LinkedIn profiles stand out?
I think it's being genuine and authentic and making sure that you're able to give concrete examples of what differentiates you to everybody else. And a way that I ask my clients to do this is to actually do a bit of searching and have a look at their peers, their colleagues, they're in effect their competitors, and to have a profile that's slightly different to theirs. Definitely you need to have in there, achievements, any awards, projects that you would sell in an interview. This profile in a career sense, when looking for a new job, is something that would also enable you to storytell and give some, in an interview environment, give some experience and examples of your experience.
And when clients come to you for career coaching or advice, why is it you recommend they use LinkedIn?
There's over 2 million members in Australia, and that's a massive network that you really want to be part of, and it's only growing. Across the globe it's over 135 million, so if you're looking for international opportunity, there's a global reach. For me, it's having people comfortable with their resume being a part of the job seeking process and their online profile another part. My advice is about there's many ways that you can look for a new job, and they have to be proactive as well as reactive. And I see the LinkedIn part of my career coaching is the proactive part. So getting yourself out there, connecting with people, becoming part of groups, and just seeing what happens. And more often than not, people are approached as soon as their profile is put up.